the story that come to me directly is like why even I decide to work on women issues and women's role in politics. As somebody from Senegal, I was familiar with the whole National Liberation War in Guinea-Bissau, right? And mostly we know the leader of the movement at that time, Amical Cabral. Then when I was here during my graduate years, my goal was to go to Guinea-Bissau, learn more about Amical Cabral and the nationalist movement and all this kind of stuff. And then my number one goal was not about women and politics or women participation in politics. Now it's just like when I was there doing my field work, something happened, and because of that, I switched my mind. And what happened was we were in this like big kind of like room with most of the top male political leaders of Guinea-Bissau because it was like election year. And I was doing interviewing people, talking to people and all that. And suddenly a lady who were in her 70s entered the room. And as soon as she entered the room, it's like the whole big room goes silent. And you have the prime minister, you have several ministers there, you have several cabinet directors and all this kind of stuff. Everything went silent and everybody lined up. And I said, okay, I don't know what's going on. I better line up like everybody. I lined up and everybody come and shake this lady's hand and all this kind of stuff. And I said, wait, we are in Africa, a room full of men. The old lady come in and everybody act like a little boy, lined up, shake hands and all this. Who she must be? And I started asking, who's this lady? And they said, wow, you don't know her? I said, no. They said, this is Tia Carmen. I said, who's Tia Carmen? They said, she was one of the top fighters during the National Liberation War. I said, what? They say yes. And automatically, they start pinpointing all the women who were in the room saying like, this is so-and-so, she was in this front, military front, she fought during this battle, she did this, she did that. I said, wait. Before that, for a whole year, I have been doing readings about Guinea-Bissau, nationalist movements and all that. But the only time I come across where people talk about these female fighters was extremely limited. And now, me continuing to dig and ask, I realize it's almost like half of the fighters during that period was women. But when you start talking to these women, youth, and all this kind of stuff, you realize every single group, they have their own reason of participating that might be far away from this whole notion of political independence. Because political independence is abstract. You see, and you realize, when you talk to these female fighters, why they decide to participate, they say them as being the one who provide most of their daily meals at home. Now, having the Portuguese colonialists forcing them to work 3 days in the colonial farm, meaning they lose 3 days of work in their own farm that was supposed to be feeding the family, right? Or being forced to pay taxes. These reasons, they see how these facts imply in their daily living conditions, in their daily house. You see, and that's the reason why they decide to fight. They are fighting because they can't feed anymore their families. It's kind of like, it's fascinating. You see all this at different levels. Always you have this competition, gender competition happening, gender division, gender competitions and all that happening in all these different front of the struggle, you know, going from why they participate to the end, what is the outcome? You see, because the women were proposed or was told after the war, all inequalities will disappear. All social and economic equalities between the two sexes will disappear. But after the war, what happened to them? When you talk to the women, they said it's kind of like, instead of the male fighters accepting to share the pie with them, they just give them a piece of the pie, meaning everything went back to how it used to be prior to this struggle.